Asher and Pipeman on W4CY Radio.
Wake up, America! It's time for the Adventures of Pipeman on W4CY.com, West Palm Beach's #1 internet radio station. Here's your host, the Pipeman.
Sit down and our righteous system. We need to do this immediately. Why are you crying? Is it too much to ask? Just do what I say. No disobedience will be allowed.
This is the Pipeman here on the Adventures of Pipeman, W4CY Radio, and I'm really excited about our next guest because we went way on the other side of the world to one of my favorite places, and we have with us Sean Horror from DarkFlow. How are you?
I'm here fine in my house in bed answering to you so we can talk and discuss about the release of Imminent End.
Yes, absolutely. And I want to know, my first thing I want to know is, how come some of the best music comes out of places in your area like Sweden and the other Scandinavian countries? Like, it seems to me that 6 months of darkness may help because you have nothing to do but create.
Well, I have to correct you there. I come from Switzerland.
Oh, sorry.
I did the album in Sweden with Andy LaRocque, by the way, so that can be exciting. The album was born in Sweden, but the creation was here in Switzerland, in the middle of Europe, and it's easy for us to create music, as you said, like really good music, because nobody knows who the fuck comes from Switzerland, and nobody knows people from Switzerland, and we are just a majestic people from a majestic land, and nobody fucking knows nothing. So when you see a musician, an artist, I don't know, like Coroner or bands like that, like Celtic Frost, Samael, or things like that, you see, well, that should be a really dark, tiny environment. It is.
Right.
It really is. Because people here, we have the natural thing that I call it the natural selection of countries, that we have a country that has so much money that we have us. Me, I am a man that only works in music, and I can live with a peaceful life with it, and I am not even known in the worldwide area. I don't sell albums, or I don't have like huge royalties or nothing. I'm just somebody who likes to compose and write with his bandmates, and we bring out music and we do what we can.
And I definitely want to hear the story about the new album, because it always fascinates me. Like, it's one thing if you write music. It's another thing when you write a whole album based on a whole story. It's not just, writing some pop song that's, makes no sense. I mean, this is real. Like, this album depicts really what's going on in the world right now.
Well, the story about Imminent End is the trilogy of our albums before we launch a first EP about death of our close ones. Then I released an album called Insane Circus about my own mortality because I got sick with a neurodegenerative situation. It's like shit. And then wandering around the internet and seeing what's going on in the world, I start like having this heavy thought that shit is really going really off. So just to keep it a little bit in mind of the people, I wrote songs that are not far from the reality that we are all living, that anything can be ended in any moment if an idiot or another idiot, because there are two main idiots in this story, or maybe three, that are really, really fucking dangerous. So those dangerous people that I know not going to point, because I don't want to get political, can do really bad to this world. And now, if you see also other things that are happening, we have problems with climate change, we have problems with economical there are other economical issues in the world. You see what's going on in South America, you see what's going on in North America, you see what's going on here in Europe, and you see that everything is decreasing, and people are getting mad. So they're getting more righty, they're getting more fascist, they're getting more xenophobic, they're getting more. That's creating more, let's say, like. Little problems, micro issue problems in society, which are bursting here and there, and these micro issues are bringing a collapse in the union of society.
Yeah.
And the union of society is what maintains a population. So if the population cannot resist this, then who is taking care of it? Our political heroes, our leaders. Those motherfuckers are wondering how to destroy between each other and using our taxes to build guns and bombs and all that shit, and not to construct, I don't know, more a better education for the people, give medical aids to people who really needs it, and stuff like that. So society is collapsing, and we are not far from living in a dystopian world. In fact, we're living it.
Yeah.
It's the present. It's a present. The present is dystopic. So if you see that the present is dystopic, then you can see that every dystopian history finishes in an apocalypse. And that's Imminent End. Imminent End is an album that explains from the A to Z how the world can go to an imminent apocalypse. I bring a lot of also just to maintain this low profile with religion, that God comes out of nowhere to destroy humanity. And I died in our first album, I come from hell to destroy earth. But the representation of me in this album is the representation of one fucking stupid leader who can just press a fucking button and bring death to everyone.
Well, it's kind of funny you should say that, because I say with all the politicians, they're all on the same team and it ain't mine. Like they're like two sides of the same coin, basically, and we're all falling for it. Like we're dividing, and that's the oldest trick in the book. And that's the sure way to end civilization, is to be divided.
Well, the safest way to end civilization is to be divided and end one first to end the other. The other one is going to be ended by themselves. So it's how it happens, and it has been happening a lot of times. You can see what happened in the Roman Empire. You can see what happened in the French Empire with this idiot of this criminal idiot called the tiny guy who
Napoleon.
Thank you. I was thinking about that guy, and. Things are going really fastly in this moment, and everybody wants to conquer and destroy. It's like it's like they're playing games, with society, and that will take its toll, and that's sure.
Yeah. Well,
so as you were saying, yeah. Sorry.
It's funny that you should say that, because I have been saying all the time for years now that the minute the U.S. became the lone superpower, or considered the lone superpower, that's the end, because every empire in history has always gone down. And to me, I look at being the lone superpower as being that empire that's going to be the next one to go down.
Well, let's say that it's going absolutely down. You have where are you from exactly? From the U.S.?
I'm in Florida. I'm not from here, but that's where I'm at now, which is like kind of the Sodom and Gomorrah of the United States.
Well, I have people who lives in Miami. I have friends there, so yeah, I can understand. It's the most narcissist place in all. It's like, I don't know. It's like the trash can of the U.S.
It is.
Don't want to say it like that because you live there, but it's what I've been told.
I don't mind. Listen, I have always said to people from other countries, if you're going to come visit the U.S., Florida is not your first stop. This does not represent the United States.
I went to Disney World, and it's not my perception of the States. I've been also in New York. I've been in, I don't know if I've been in California, in fact, but I've been even in Hawaii. So I know the U.S. It's really different from in which area you are. It's really
totally
different.
It's like, it's kind of like Europe, where every state's a different country. basically, because we have different cultures, different upbringings, different ways of life, different types of people. Everything's different, and even the language is different. Like I'm originally from New York and New Jersey, and most of the time I
That's the why
can't.
you have the accent of New Jersey. That's the thing that I could recognize.
Yeah, see, and most of the time I can't even understand the people in the South. Sometimes, if I'm in the deep South, I don't even know what they're saying.
Well, in the deep south of the states, nobody understands shit.
Right, exactly.
No, the thing is that, of course, the United States in this moment is bringing up and blooming again with Donald Trump and all that shit. But what it's safer it's going on, I don't know. The problem is now the Eastern Europe things and the Chinese.
Yeah.
So that's the three main problems: the U.S. government, the Eastern government, well, Putin, of course, and the Chinese guy. He's really kind of crazy. And those guys are
Yeah.
fucking. Those guys are fucking intelligent. That's the only problem.
Well, it's funny too. I even saw articles recently that Elon Musk was on all kinds of drugs when he was doing all this stuff the past few months. And we're not talking about pot. Like he was on, this is what they're saying. I don't know if it's for sure, but ketamine and LSD and
He was
ecstasy and all.
sure. He was sure in that. He was sure. Fuck high in that. It's completely. You can see it in how he
Right.
used a picture of his eyes. You can see that his eyes are not focused to nothing. And I could say it before I said it to my wife. This guy is like how you can have such power and be in so much drugs at the same time. I've been in drugs in my life. I understand what it is, and I know how people can go completely mad. And
Yeah.
a guy with that power,
Yeah, that's scary.
given power, a hungry power guy with so much resources, with so much money. That's the most dangerous shit in the world.
No doubt. No doubt. I said before, like you're giving the richest man in the world who's on drugs access to the whole U.S. Treasury. That makes no sense to me.
Well, that's why I wrote this album.
See?
Things are getting messy.
I'm not even sure where to go anymore. Like in 2016, I went and stayed in Europe for 4 months to watch from afar, figuring I'd be safer over there. Now, because I travel so much, I'm like, I don't even know where it's safe in the world because everybody's following our lead. I was in Bali and talking to these Australians, and they're like, yeah, they're following our lead. Like everybody's following our, and I don't think it's a good lead to follow. It was maybe at one time, but not right this second.
In this moment, no. And I can understand it. So I can answer that question for you. I come from Chile.
Oh, okay.
I was born and raised in Chile. And in that country, that is like an island because you have the mountains, the desert, the glaciers in the south, and everything. Nobody can come inside. If you don't send a bomb to destroy the country, nothing is going to mess with it.
Yeah.
So that's a there's a good refugee there for people who want to get the fuck out of bombs and countries that can be exploded or imploded by their own leaders.
I love Costa Rica. I go there every year to escape the insanity. It's like last year I was there. My brothers called me, did you see the news? I'm like, no, and I don't care. I'm going surfing. Have a nice day.
Well, our guitar player went to Costa Rica recently. I've been there before, and it's a really peaceful place. It's really beautiful, and you have shitloads of lizards that are really fucking cool. And the ocean, for fuck's sake.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And, here's something interesting. We were talking before about, healthcare. I actually had 2 heart attacks, both surfing. One was in Hawaii, one was in Costa Rica. Hawaii cost me $400,000. Costa Rica cost me 0 because they put me in their system like I was a citizen, and they have free health care. And their health care was better because the second heart attack was caused by the American health care that I paid $400,000 for. So it just amazes me. You could go to a country like Costa Rica, who is considered a third world country, and get stellar healthcare for free.
Well, the thing is that that's the greed that you live in the States. It's they don't want to open things into the people that they need because they don't want to lose that control over people. People who have cancer in the States, they have to choose between living or dying. and that's
Yeah.
nothing. That's not their choice. That's not a choice that you want to make. That's not a choice. Either I go on to treatment and my family is fucked for life. Either I die and I can give the money to my son. That's the thing.
Yeah.
While here in Switzerland, well, everybody has healthcare, insurances, and everything. Even if you are paying, and people are sometimes are saying, "Well, but we are paying for something that we don't use." Yeah, but it's not for you; it's for the people.
Yeah.
I am not a left wing or right wing person. I am just objectivist. If you see
Yes.
that the society needs something, just put it on society and stop bothering about it because it's something that people needs. And if people don't have their needs controlled, what happens? People are ashamed of where they're living. They don't like what is going on. There's a lot of rioting. Rioting goes into looting, and looting goes into criminality for the society and killing.
Yeah.
So the state is really, really, really in a delicate position in this moment because people are learning more and more that almost every fucking country in the world they have healthcare except them,
I know it's the
and
weirdest thing to me. It's
it's
just
a rich country.
it just blows my, and it's not only that, but the cost of it. Like for one little like Tylenol, if you go to a hospital, it's like $20 for one little pill that costs them maybe a penny to make. It's ridiculous. Like we shouldn't have this problem as a country that we are. And I love what you said too about, for everybody. I was in Denmark one time and I was sitting with like 8 other people, all from different countries, all different religions, all different, political viewpoints and all that. And not one of us was arguing. I'm like you, like, I don't believe in picking sides. Okay. You don't have to be one way or the other, maybe a mix of both, because there's
Yeah,
certain things, and even
good
on each
ideas here and
subject.
there.
Yeah. And so I remember this one girl, she was the only Danish girl there. And somebody was saying to her about, the socialism in their country and how much taxes they pay and all that. And she said, you know what? I don't mind because I would rather share with my fellow countrymen. Why should I have 2 cars and my neighbor have none? I'd rather share. So if I have to pay more taxes so we all can live a good life. And I was like, man, everybody in the world should have that attitude. Like,
Well,
let's look out for humans.
I live in a country that we think the same. Switzerland is exactly the same point of view. We share everything. There are high taxes. It is a rich country. It's the international bank from all the world. We have
Yeah.
all the treasures of Hitler here hidden somewhere, and we have all these insurances because there's not so much people. It's a little country with 10 million people, but nobody can fuck with these people. Why?
Yeah.
Because nobody wants to attack the bank.
Right. I
Who
love it.
wants to attack the bank? So this bank maintains its society. Now, other countries like the States, that is the best example, it has so much resources and they use it in the military, they use it into investing into more businesses, and that's not good because you're trying to make people work more, you're trying to make people get the most sick, and nobody's helping society to uplift all this.
Yeah.
And people are getting tired, people are getting angry, people are getting really in the sensation. You can see what's going on. I've been talking with a girl from Texas. Well, this is transgender girl and all shit, and she's from Texas, and it's like people doesn't understand me here. Of who the fuck is going to understand you? You're in fucking Texas, first of all. Second of all, you're in the States. Who the fuck is going to understand you? You need to have a change of sex. Okay, so it's your decision, and the government is not going to help you. Of course, it's not going to help you. Here in Switzerland, people have that kind of decisions, And I don't care if you want to be whatever you want to be. The thing that is important is that you are happy as a citizen, and if you're not happy as a
Totally.
citizen, that's going to bring problems in society. And what's a problem in society? A problem in society is when people are attacking their government,
Yeah.
and when people are starting attacking their government, what's going on? Just out of control,
Yeah.
and that's
Totally.
creating chaos, anarchism. And when you create chaos and anarchism, it's like you're bringing down society. And what's
Totally.
going on then? People that are in the upper level of society are attacking to those who are under level in society, and that creates what? Separation. And if you bring separation really clearly into people, there are going to be a lot of messy stuff going on, a lot of killing and a
There
lot of
already
like,
is. Where
yeah,
I
well,
am, there's a lot of it, in Florida. And like fact of the matter is, I agree with you. I just believe, like everybody, you just do you, and as long as you're not intentionally hurting anybody, what do I give a crap what you do, who you have sex with, what gender you want to be, any of that crap? It doesn't affect my life in any way, shape, or form. That's what I don't get. People that try to stop these other people from doing what they want to do, and it doesn't even affect their life. Like, who cares? You do you, let them do them.
well, exactly. Is that what it's I've been telling a lot in my country? Well, one of the reasons that I had to leave my country was because I was always speaking out loud against religion, against people having like, why we don't have abortion in this country? Everybody's like, really, you have the obligation to deliver a child, an unwanted born child? Just give them the choice to just don't have them, you know?
Yeah.
No, 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 because this is against the law. And what is the law? The fucking religious people are making laws in this country. Why I am paying 10% of my fucking taxes are going to the fucking for the fucking Catholic Church? I don't
Right.
believe in that shit.
Right.
I don't want to pay that shit. They
I don't
can go
blame you.
fuck themselves. I
That's
don't
what
who
I don't blame you. That's why I love your music, because music is the best therapy and the best way to tell a story and the best way to unite people. And that is what I think you're doing with this album. It's like you're painting the picture for people, but then people can like civilly discuss these things instead of the whack shit that's going on right now.
Well, that's what I wanted to make with this album, is to present people this is going to happen in one moment or another. It can happen now, it can happen in 10 years, it can happen in 100 years, but it's happening.
Yeah.
So you have to just see between the lyrics, see between the songs, go through the story of the album, and think yourself why there is a guy in Switzerland that comes from Chile writing all this apocalyptic prophecy. Is because people are thinking about this. And these
Yeah.
apocalyptic ideas have come before in the 80s. Well, you can see Terminator and all that shit. But the thing is that now we're living in it. You know,
Right.
we're living where you have robots, you have the AI, you have a lot of things that were fantastic in the moment and sci-fi. That now that it was really futuristic. Now we're living it. It's existing. It's
It's
there.
scary too, because like I'm from the '80s, and me and my bro, we used to go like, it doesn't matter, the world's going to blow up in 1984 anyway, so we'll just do what we're going to do. And I always said the machines are going to take over. And now every movie that I ever watched as a teenager is now like true life, and that's what's
Exactly, that's the
scary.
thing. That's the thing. You know, that's what what I say that in the song "Artificial Doom," I talk about the new controlling race, because these guys in this song, in fact, instead of helping or destroying humanity, they just stand back and see the movie that they want to see. People destroying each other until they explode everything, and they
Mm.
then take over.
And you know
That's
what? It's funny, like that. I won't mention the word because YouTube doesn't like the word, but that lockdown that we had, it reminded me of I think it was Demolition Man, the movie where,
Demolition Man, exactly. Yes.
yeah. And I was like, oh my God, we're living Demolition Man. Like, we're going to go to sleep and wake up one day and we're not allowed to touch anybody and we're not allowed to have actual sexual relations, no fluid interaction, all that. I'm like, wow. Like, and you wonder, is it prophetic, or when people are writing these movies, or are they prepping us? Like, they know that this is where it's going. So they're like softening the blow, getting us used to it.
Well, I think when I was writing this album, I said to myself, well, I'm like saying to people when I'm in my makeup and all that stuff, is the prophecy of the end of the world and stuff. But now we're talking people to people, you know, man to man.
Yeah.
I am just watching what's going on in the world and saying, well, I think it might be well if with my creativity I bring to society to think.
Yeah.
To those who are hearing my music to think and to develop themselves and say, well, this guy has a little bit of reason in this because he's touching a point that might happen
Yeah.
and he's not far from reality. And that's the thing. And and I'm going to come back from something that you said, the smoke screen that happened in 2020, because for me it was just a fucking smoke screen. That smoke screen created for me my own apocalypse because I lost everything with that shit.
Ugh.
Everything. I was owner of a bar. I had a career in marketing with festivals and culture areas and restoration and bars and all that stuff. I had a lot of clients, and from one day to another, everything stopped. And I didn't have any assurances because I come from Chile. I am not a native Swiss guy, so I didn't have all the security and the
Yeah.
insurances to give me the power to live here. So I just stopped. I was winning like 14,000 a month. Start having zero from one day to another. I
Yeah.
lost where I was living. I lost everything, and I lost my health because I went to this stressful area, and my brain collapsed. And then I started just doing music. So our
I
first
love it.
EP was released in 2020. Worst year to release music. Never do that again in a pandemic. And and then things got a little bit better. We did the first album, Insane Circus, that was a description of my situation. It was really personal. I needed to explain what was going on because all the doctors were telling me you're dying. So it was like,
Mm.
well, before I die, I'm going to say, let's fuck you to Earth and give an album.
I love it.
And then I don't know why I'm still alive. And then I said to myself, well, let's do this second album and see where we go after with this. You
That's
know,
probably why you are alive, so your message can get out there. And, we never know what we're really destined for. So, what happened to you might have been a blessing in disguise. Sometimes we're forced in a different direction that turns out good.
yeah, well, as my brother told me one time, he told me, well, you were blessed and cursed by the same situation.
Mm,
Because of your situation, you were cursed, of course, but the blessing is that you could start doing your music. You met with King Diamond's guitar player, Andy LaRocque, to do 2 albums, and he produced the last one. So we have been like in touch a lot to create all this. He came to Switzerland to compose with us. We went to his studio to record the album at the Sonic Train
nice.
studio there. We worked at this for months. I went alone there to record my songs, my lyrics, my voice, and everything. And that's kind of one of my dreams when I was a child, because well, you can see I have a Merciful Fate T-shirt, so I'm a really King Diamond Merciful Fate fan. And I always wanted to work with one of the guys, and Andy LaRocque is my favorite guitar player, and I've been into their music since I am really young. So working with one of my heroes
I love hearing that.
was one of my, I don't know, let's say, one of
Bucket
my
list.
dreams.
Yeah.
It was a fucking bucket list, but how you reach with that guy? How you can just reach it, just produce something, You have to have money, resources. You have to have time. You have to have the energy. You have to have the health to record songs. You have to have a lot of things,
Yeah.
And I prepared myself to try to do that, and I did it once, and now I did it twice, and I'm really thankful because I could create something now that is not only for me, and it's not talking about me. It's talking about the whole world, and I think that is a message that people needs to hear.
Yeah.
And I really believe that if we reach people to hear what's going on and what could happen, then we can make people check between them. As you were
Yeah.
saying, you need to open some eyes and some minds to make them talk between them and try to find solutions, at least as society, because our leaders are not going to do shit.
No, not at all. And I think it's pretty cool too that Andy he not only produced it but played on on the album too, right?
He did a solo as a guest artist, a featuring in the song "The Last Symphony," That is the song with God coming on Earth to destroy humanity after being mad at them for being so fucking greed.
Yeah. That's coming too. Like that's about as prophetic as you could get. Because if I was God, I'd be pissed right now.
Well, the thing is that there's a script written, like, I don't know, like it was written in the year 1200, something like that. Yeah, I think it's from the 12th century or the 11th century. I don't remember really well. Where that it's called God's wrath, and that's what I'm talking in this song. I'm talking about God's wrath, God coming with the four horsemen from the apocalypse and kill everyone, and chaos going everywhere, and everybody tearing them apart, everybody killing each other, raining chaos while he's killing everybody. And then in the other songs, I come as myself, Shan Horror, the general from hell to destroy Earth before God. So there's also in the end of the album this um, really portrait heaven versus hell thing, where hell always wins because evil always wins. And that's a description that I always wanted to interpret because we have something that people doesn't know and doesn't understand, that history has been written only by those who won the wars, not by those who lose,
Yeah.
who lost the wars, not by the good people, if not by those who won. And some, or mainly, people who win is not the kind of guy that you want to have with you in a dinner party.
No.
You know,
Because they'll win at all costs. That's the difference.
exactly. They don't have fucking moral. They don't have fucking values. They don't have. They only have this feeling about conquering and being powerful and being selfish and being a fucking idiot. So for me, idiots created history.
That's a great way to put it. I have to agree with that full heartedly. So tell everybody how they can reach out to you on socials, on the web, how they can get the new album, check out your merch, all that good stuff.
Well, little by little. First of all, if you want to support DarkFlow, go to our Bandcamp, buy the album in the digital version, or you can buy it also in the vinyl version, which is in Bandcamp too. And if you want to just give us numbers to have people hearing it, or if you are, I don't know, an agent or whatever fucking label you can be working on, go and hear us on any streaming site, and you can hear Imminent End. And if you like it, you can send us an email. You can go to darkflow.ch. That is our website. You can contact me and I will answer to you. Anybody can talk to me. I'm open to talk to everybody. For me, it's just creating relationship with people. I am not the most famous person. I'm not James fucking Hetfield, so I will not be harassed. I am going to be maybe somebody's going to be stupid enough to send me some dick pics on email, but I don't care. And I will answer to people who has real questions, and I will be there for them. So if you like our music, hear it, enjoy it, try to share with us, tell me what you think, and we can talk, because I will always
Nice.
be there. You can also talk to me on Facebook, Instagram. You can talk me on Blue Sky. You can, because I left the X because they banned me, and yeah, I was a little bit trashy there. And well, which other social media I have? I don't use. We are on TikTok, but I don't use TikTok because it's not
It's
for
a
my
lot of
generation.
work. It's a lot
I
of
don't
work.
fucking. I don't understand how people can consume that shit. I don't like it. It's like too much real over real, and it's like, yeah, no, that's not my jam. I like reading. I like interpretation while people write. So yeah, Blue Sky, Facebook, Instagram, an email that you can find everywhere on my website, in our website, sorry. And Shan Horror is going to be there behind writing to you. There's not going to be a manager, and we'll never, ever, ever use AI to write back to people.
Oh, I love it. I love it. And I'm going to be in a couple weeks doing coverage at Hellfest, and I think your album and your band should be the ones, especially with everything going on in the world, that is headlining Hellfest. That would be appropriate.
That would be appropriate, but the thing is that I think the people from Hellfest, even if they know who I am, they are not going to invite us in this edition or in future editions soon, because we're not a mainstream band. We are just an underground band from Switzerland. Well, we don't want to get like really undergroundish or underground from the underground. We would like to get a little bit more know so we can do better shows and go play everywhere where we can.
Yeah.
So if we need something, it's your support. People of the world, hear my voice. We need your support.
There it is. And definitely they should support you because you have a great message, great story, and absolute incredible music. And so I thank you for bringing that to us because it's a time we need it most. And thanks for being on the Adventures of Pipeman.
Well, thank you for inviting me in the adventure of Pipeman, and thank you for hosting everything. This was a really nice discussion. I think this is the best interview I ever done because it's free.
I love it. I love hearing that. We were talking about stuff like that before. So whenever I get a compliment from that like that from an artist, that's the best compliment I could ever get. So thank you.
That's the way. Thank you, man.
Thank you for listening to the Adventures of Pipeman on W4CY Radio.